Looks like this is going to be on two different videos. That's okay. I'll send two links. The Sheriff County Jail needs to be investigated. Sheriff Wayborn, the current he supports Trump sheriff, is involved in a current investigation with Texas Rangers. Texas Rangers need to be checked too. They're failing. They really let me down. I worked with a Texas Ranger when I worked for American Airlines. He basically worked for American Airlines for the benefits, flight benefits and medical. Told me a lot of stuff. That I had so many problems. I'm going to include everything of what I have. The police reports, everything concerning the Hearst, Euless, Bedford, Fort Worth police. The communications from the city mayor of Fort Worth, city mayor of Hearst, the captain, the chief, and the detective in Hearst, Texas. The law enforcement here in Texas is totally unchecked. The mayors have no power. They have no say over the chief, over the police departments. Called the attorney general. They said, oh, you have to hire an attorney. The courts, everything, I'm thoroughly aware. The courts are designed, even though our taxpayers pay for the building, their careers, and their salaries, whatever you want to call it. The court system is designed for the bureaucrats, the people that work in those buildings, and attorneys. I cannot defend myself. They won't let me. I basically have to become an attorney to find out how to defend myself, pro se. It's unbelievable. So the Hearst detective, I've been targeted 3 times. It's all in the documents. This is just a summary story on video. Because of the trauma, I called the police because my wife, I was holding her because in her parking lot, because if I let go of her, she's gonna run into a car driving by in the parking lot. And I said, Blanca, call the police from your phone, because I'm hugging her. And so finally the police, it was on speakerphone. I got the Hearst police here. We explained everything, and all of a sudden I'm handcuffed, didn't read my rights every time, never read my rights. Handcuffed, put in jail, never read my rights when we got there. Double checked, down to change out of my clothes. First night was 7 hours, the next time was 7 days. Then the next time I was targeted because of this detective. It's all on Detective Brown, no, Detective, I forgot. It's all in there. The detective in Hearst had my phone. My wife and I had her phone. It was actually 2 different, had my phone. I had her phone for a day. It's all explained in the documents I'm submitting. But because of that detective, Broom was his last name, he made the stupidest decision. And to cover his butt of saying after, it's in there, he basically issued 2 warrants, had warrants issued for my arrest. Within 11 hours, by the next afternoon, I was working picking up passengers. I was pulled over, and they waved off or took the passenger, gave her a ride wherever, or called, I don't know, I didn't see it. They hauled me off to jail for that, because the detective said, oh, I'm putting your phone into evidence. And from him, that statement caused all of this, to where he tried to cover up his stupid statement because he didn't have a crime. I have the dates on the evidence package of the phone when I finally got it back 6 months later. He basically went along with my wife with her trauma and had me arrested for trespassing and interrupting a police emergency call, interfering. And that's how I was pulled over. So I have left messages. I've talked with Detective Broom, his captain, and his chief. They're all in on it, trying to cover up his stupid statement. Not cover up of a crime, but his stupid statement. Because there was no crime. He didn't have a case number, file number to enter it into evidence. So that the night before the first time I got pulled over, I left Broom a message. Detective, you have no crime. There's no case number. A 5-year-old watching TV knows you need a case number and a file number to enter something into evidence. Please check with your captain so I don't get into a bunch of trouble. That's when it all started. And then again, after I got out, bonded out, I got targeted. They scanned my license plate. We have the technology in Fort Worth. We have 4,000 cameras downtown with scanning license plate capabilities. I had 4 passengers in the stockyards. 9:30 Friday night. I wasn't speeding, no traffic offenses. They just rushed me with 3 squads, 2 backups. Little old me. Threw me in jail. And then she made sure, because I've told before each time, no one ever read me my rights. She goes, I'm reading your rights now. They knew who they were picking up. They were told to go pick me up because I'm making such a brouhaha, making a big stink with all this stuff. Towing my car twice. I had to pay for just this. Director Patel. That's a pretty cool title of FBI. Congratulations, Director. You deserve it. I'm sorry, I'm in the stockyards right now, downtown. I can't drive for Uber anymore because of the misdemeanors, the 2 charges that this whole thing, my wife's trauma, her mechanism, and this police with the justice system has devastated my life, my income. Try to get information. I've been banned from 200 Weather Street, the downtown court building, because I tried to ask one of the clerks some information. They didn't return my call, so I had to physically go there. All of a sudden, 4 deputies come in, say, Mr. Zorn. I'm sitting there calm as a cucumber to usher me out and give me a restraining order from the court building. I'm like, are you kidding me? The people behind in this building don't know how to do their job and give me an answer. They're afraid. They don't know how to answer my questions. So I'm attaching to this video everything documented of the police here, how they are. They need to be retrained. The courthouse. The jail. There's been 67 inmate deaths since 2017 in this 8-story building, where I spent 12 more days there. My civil liberties were violated 4 or 5 times now. Plus the criminality of making up stuff of crimes that I didn't commit. I was in 12 days in jail where I was supposed to get out, and I go see the judge to, I guess it's called an arraignment, gives me 2 other warrants for my arrest. I'm like, I'm sitting in a building. How can I have warrants for my arrest? They purposely kept me in that building. It's all explained in the documents. This Texas, from Attorney General down to every city, needs to be investigated. Texas Rangers, they need a talking to. I went to Garland at Company B Ranger office. They referred me to a local Fort Worth. There's no office. I guess he works out of his house. That's no problem. He just BS'd me, and he sounds a little woke too. A Texas Ranger woke? That's like an oxymoron, isn't it? Makes no sense. Cowboys. Woke cowboys. I've only met one. I've actually 2 of them as a passenger. And I told them. I set them straight. They were talking about, oh, Trump crazies, and I finally just zipped my lip. They're like 35. Picked them up from downtown, taking them to the stockyards. I finally said, dude, how do you know I'm not a Trump supporter? Because they like my car. They were commenting on how they like my car. I said, dude, you're in Stockyards, Fort Worth. We're all Republican. We're all conservative. Dude, read the damn room. When you get into a car, you're going to get your ass kicked. None of us are like that, but yeah, you might have someone that's, I want to kick your ass for talking stupid because you don't read the room. I said, Trump is the reason why I can afford the car that you just complimented me. And Biden is the reason why I'm driving you as an Uber driver. Dumbass. I set them straight, and they actually thanked me for correcting them and schooling them, and gave me a good tip. That's the positive thing about it. Cash, I know you as Cash, so that's cool. And I talk about you a lot. People ask me, and I drove in for Hitch. It's called, it's another Uber, because I couldn't drive for Uber. Hitch let me drive. It's my first passenger. One of them, they were from India. I'm like, why is 2 different passengers from India? Indian American. I was telling them I'm going to start another company and do it right compared to Uber sucks, the way they're set up. But this Hitch company, he knows the college student, he's Indian, that wrote the app for Hitch, for me to be a driver. And turns out Hitch is only for Indian Americans. And I told someone else, I thought, isn't that kind of racist? Or whoever is the boss of the app in the company. But 99.9% of the passengers, I did it for a month and a half, I finally said, forget it. Not because the people were cool, the Indians. It's just weird. I mean, how totally different from Uber, how you pick up people. No tips, for one thing. But Director Patel, please investigate Hearst, Euless, Bedford police. I've talked to the mayor. I've talked to this Fort Worth mayor. They don't have any power here. The sheriff could use your help too. Sheriff Wayborn. This building needs to be taken out of downtown. It's prime real estate. I'm a realtor, so of 26 years, I told you that. These buildings it's an eyesore, needs to get out of downtown prime real estate and get them up by Alliance Airport. It's just disgusting. Causing traffic and geez. But please investigate. Call me if you have any questions. You have my number. You can Google my name. Go on my YouTube, hear the videos. Lots of good information. You have my number. I'll include that in the email when I send you all this. Thank you, Director Patel.